Remember that Joel's most prized possession is his blue car. Well, the fact is, since Joel refuses to drive his blue car, he always takes his insipid oatmeal-colored one instead. Now, everyone points at this car and laughs at Joel for driving such a silly car around town because it looks like an oat. But Joel insists on driving his not-so-nice car because he wants to keep the other one nice. So this is his otra car. This is his other car. Otra, or otro, mean other. Now, in order to get to this car, Joel is passing a flip-flop that's sitting on his driveway. Now, Joel is all alone, and he's afraid of all shoes and sandals, but although he's scared, he somehow manages to fly past this flip-flop because it was only one shoe. Joel is proud of himself for being so brave while he was solo. It's times like these that Joel does get a little bit lonely. Now, solo means alone or lonely, and Joel had to get past this lonely flip-flop and do it alone. So remember that solo means alone, but it also means lonely. The gazebo area is where we keep all numbers. Joel likes to have a table outside, but he only has one table that's outside. He has a lot of tables inside, but the one table that's outside is kind of shaped like an O. So he calls it un O. It's an O, and there's only one of it. So uno means one. Now, the two pillars at the entrance of the gazebo are structurally unsound. They're kind of falling apart. Joel doesn't like to talk about this, and so he always refers to the two pillars as those, out of shame and embarrassment for not keeping up his place well enough. All it takes is for dos to buckle, and the whole gazebo will be destroyed. Dos means two. So we have uno, which is the table, and then we have those pillars, of which there are dos at the entrance. The neighbor's dog comes charging at Joel one day to attack him, but Joel commands the dog to sit and stay, and the dog immediately obeys, even though it seemed like it was a mean dog. Joel is surprised. It's not a mean dog at all. It's a good dog. So Joel says, "That's a boy now. There's a good boy now. There's a bueno boy now." Bueno means good. So remember the good dog, that's a good boy now, and you have bueno. Now remember that Joel likes to hoard trees. So he really prizes the trees in his backyard, and he thinks that they're better than anyone else's. He says, "Me hoard of trees is better than my neighbor's. Mejor than my neighbor's." So his hoard is better than his neighbor's, and his hoard is mejor than his neighbor's. Mejor means better. Now, when Joel tries to decide which of his trees is the best, he says, "Which es mejor?" Mejor means better in a comparative sense, but it also means best in a superlative sense. So, mi hoard is mejor que mi neighbor's. My hoard is better than my neighbor's, but he doesn't know which tree is el mejor tree, is the best tree.